Yo, what's up everyone? Kyrios here, and before we kick off that video, I just want to say hit like, subscribe, all that goodness. I also want to let you know I've got more videos coming out. We got one for Total Assault coming out. I've got some character videos coming out. I've got some banner videos coming out. I have the pulls that I did in the Japanese release coming out, so hit that subscribe button. I got those on the way. These mistakes, there's a lot more than 5 mistakes, guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you have any other mistakes that people are making, hit me in the comments down below. Okay, first things first, beware of crafting in the early game. Now, crafting is a very in-depth and needed portion of this game. There's many different things you could do with crafting, from building furniture to getting activity reports to getting high-grade materials to getting anything you need. But the problem is that until you have a really good grasp of what you're doing with crafting, you're going to end up wasting a lot of materials. And I see people wasting a lot of materials as well in both our Discord and on Reddit and a bunch of other places as well. If you're just throwing keystones in and you're selecting the wrong sub node, for example, and then moving on to the second node and overcharging that and selecting another node, like you may be wasting a ton of materials. You may be wasting skill books, XP materials that you can't afford to lose right now, or any other level up growth materials that you can't afford to lose right now. So be very cautious when using the crafting system. If you haven't checked out my video on furniture in the crafting system, that's really the only thing you should be using crafting for in the beginning game, and even in the mid game. Crafting is really an end game resource when you have an abundance of low end materials that you need to boost into high-end materials. Tip number 2, know when to move on and come back. There's going to be a lot of points in your career where you're going through the campaign and you're either blowing through 3-starring all the missions, or you're barely scraping by trying to get a 1-star or 2-star. That's okay. You can get that 1-star and 2-star. That just means that you either are lacking some levels, or you're probably lacking the right team comp. So it's okay to move on, because the progression in the campaign matters more as of right now than 3-starring every single mission. You'll get those levels later where you can come back and you can over level it, or you may pull the correct students to give you, like, say, a full explosion team or a full piercing team to be able to do those levels a lot easier. Also, to add to that, you really do want to rush to chapter, something, whatever, campaign 6-1, so that you can at least unlock PvP. Now, PvP is not for everyone, but the PvP in this game is pretty fun. It's just an auto simulator, and it gets you free resources even if you do mediocre. All right, tip number 3: buy these items daily from the shop. Now, going to the shop, you'll see there's many different tabs on the left. I wouldn't worry about any of those tabs as of right now. Hoard those resources until you start getting tokens and Eligma and all that goodness. But on the initial tab, when you open the shop, there's going to be 4 resources at the bottom every day. Go ahead and buy those. It's not enough money to say, hey, I really want to just save my credits, because getting those materials over time, once a day for 30 days, is a lot of materials, and it'll stack up over time. So you should definitely do that. And if you're leveling your cafe should be able to output enough currency that it outweighs the costs here. Now, as an additional perk, I highly suggest that you buy the normal and lesser enhancement materials in the early game. Don't worry about buying all the enhancement materials. That's too much money. But those ones will help you really level initially to get you to chapter 6, to get you to chapter 7, and really to push your career further. And then as you start to hit those roadblocks, you can debate if you need to buy those anymore, or you may need to buy the better ones, or maybe not at all because you're getting enough from farming. As a bonus tip, I highly suggest you buy the lesson ticket every day in the beginning of the game. Yes, I know it costs crystals or pyrozeni or whatever it's called, but being able to level up your lessons now, earlier, faster, to unlock more locations is going to allow you to level up your relationships a lot faster. And those relationships go all the way to level 20, and they start really mattering as you progress into the end game. All right, tip number 4, and this one's pretty, I would like to say it's pretty straightforward, but I feel like some people aren't doing it or using it. I don't know. It's not using your lessons every day. Now that's a free 3 lessons you get every day. It improves the relationship. You do get some materials from it. Now, the reason why I bring this up as a mistake people are making is that they're really not optimizing it. So when you're looking at your lessons, you want to go through all the different schools and see where your active characters, right? It'll show you all characters that are in the game, but you're not going to get any relationship status for the ones you don't own. So you need to look through all the locations you have unlocked, or ones that you might be able to unlock really quickly by maybe doing one lesson and then it unlocks the next stage, and trying to get 1, 2, or 3 of your characters in the same pool, even if it's a student that you don't use. Over time, that relationship's going to matter, and you might end up using that student occasionally for the off I don't know, the off raid, or tactical or PvP or something, where you might need like a full piercing team and sub in a character that just needs to help out a little bit. Final mistake that people are making is you're not focusing your sweeps. And what I really mean by that is, most people, as you start progressing through the game, you're going to start sweeping because it's convenient, it's easy, and you don't always want to do all those missions over and over and over again. It's time consuming. I get it. But you need a lot of materials in this game. Say you have 15 students. You got to get 30 pieces of equipment. Then you need to upgrade that equipment, right? And then you need to go get skill materials and all that goodness. So when I say focus your sweeps, I really mean about the campaign. So when you're leveling up a new student, you need to level up you need to get the initial equipment first, and then you need to get the resources to upgrade that equipment. So using hard modes to get that equipment, if you go scroll through the hard mode section, you'll see that a lot of the equipment and a lot of the tokens and a lot of the random other things you need actually come from hard mode nodes as well. Now, they do cost 20 energy instead of 10 energy, but you do get the chance of getting that Eligma or that Elif for that character. It might be a character or student that you don't use, but it's still a better progression to try and get those anytime you can, while trying to get the materials that you're trying to get as well. So try to focus your sweeps in trying to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll see you guys on the next video.